Yuta Okkotsu absolutely unequivocally washed Suguru Geto in their first fight. But before we get into the video, make sure you stick around to the end for a special message and also subscribe. Love you. Now I want to make things very, very clear here. Yuta vs Geto right now may go 100% in a totally different direction on account of Kenjaku having taken over Geto's body after Yuta bodied him. But make no mistake that Yuta Okkotsu absolutely washed Geto, and I'm going to go through the how it all went down. Yuta built diff. The end. Nah, but for real, this fight was absolutely insane, because on one hand you have Suguru Geto, a special grade sorcerer with the technique of curse manipulation, meaning he can control almost any curse he sees fit with a few exceptions to the rule. This is a sorcerer who was not only rising through the ranks with none other than Gojo Satoru at an early age in the Jujutsu High, but also a sorcerer who was at the time considered a rival for Gojo. That is until Gojo 4 Toji died, brought himself back to life, and then whooped Toji's fine ass, and then proclaimed himself the honoured one. But aside from all that, Geto was, and still is, an immensely powerful sorcerer. So why in the fuck did he lose to this motherfucker who only had less than a year's worth of Jujutsu training? Yuta Okkotsu is a 16-year-old child who watched his childhood sweetheart Rika Orimoto be run over by a car and killed, only to then turn her into one of, if not the most powerful curses in the entire series. We are talking about a curse that is so powerful that Suguru Geto dubbed her the Queen of Cursed Spirits. A special grade vengeful cursed spirit with endless cursed energy and an incredible desire to protect the love of her life, Yuta Okkotsu. This spirit was responsible for the killing, injuring, and maiming of many people who even dared raise a hand to Yuta. While Yuta had no idea why this was happening, it wasn't until he would meet with another special grade by the name of Gojo Satoru, who is also the strongest sorcerer in the series, who then helped him unravel the mystery around this curse and why it was protecting him so fiercely. Fast forward in a little bit, we find ourselves in a similar situation to our dearly beloved Yuji Itadori, who, just like Yuji, Yuta was also scheduled for execution on an account of the Jujutsu higher-ups fearing the immense power of Rika Orimoto and what she could do should she ever fully manifest with Yuta not being able to control her. Gojo takes Yuta under his wing and gives the lad some training in learning how to control this unfathomable power he now holds. And all seems well for the time being until Suguru Geto turns up and learns of the existence of Rika and plans to take Rika for himself in order to wipe out every single non-sorcerer in the world. Naturally, Yuta, being the good soul he is, rejects this plan and decides to go against Suguru and with his friends at Jujutsu High. This is where it gets intense. When the fight breaks out between Yuta and Suguru, we see Rika fully manifest for the second time, with Yuta breaking into a rage, declaring that he will kill Suguru Geto. Now I want you all to remember that during this fight, Yuta had less than a year's worth of Jujutsu training under his belt, when compared to that of Suguru, who was already far more combat and Jujutsu experienced, it pales in comparison. But that doesn't stop our boy Yuta from absolutely dominating in this fight. Yuta shows just how powerful he is by showing off reverse curse technique to heal his friends Maki, Togi, and Panda. Almost right after that, he shows us his ability to use cursed speech. You know that innate technique that the Inumaki clan has? With this power, Yuta simply says one word: die, destroying multiple cursed spirits sent after him from Geto. It's also worth pointing out that earlier on in this series that Togi Inumaki, a proficient user in cursed speech, used the same technique and was put out of action without the use of his throat medicine. Yuta uses this technique and shows zero repercussions from the usage, only noting how hard it is to control the cursed energy. This technique alone manages to impress Geto, with him exclaiming how amazing it is. Geto then realizes that using low-level cursed spirits in an abundance isn't gonna cut it, and opts for a physical fight against the amateur sorcerer and Rika. Using a cursed tool, the two begin fighting, and Geto manages to hit Yuta with multiple blows with the cursed tool Playful Cloud, a tool formerly owned by the one one and only Toji Zenin, now in the hands of Maki Zenin. With Yuta becoming accustomed to the speed of the fight, he flies at Geto and manages to land a hit, but not before breaking his katana by overcharging it with too much cursed energy. As Geto tries to explain how to use cursed energy in weapons, Yuta lands a clean blow, sending Geto flying. Geto decides enough is enough and he wants the fight to end, not before giving more history on the special grades, informing us that there are actually only 4 special grade sorcerers and 16 special grade cursed spirits, one of which he summons, and I ain't gonna cap, I can't pronounce that name, so I'm not even gonna try before I butcher it. But furthermore, Geto intends to combine 4,461 cursed spirits into one attack and hit Yuta with it, a technique known as Maximum Uzumaki. This is where we see just how powerful Rika Orimoto in combination with Yuta can be. Again, bear in mind that all of this is with less than 1 year's jujutsu training. Yuta makes a binding vow with Rika by offering himself to her in order to release the limiters on her power, citing that this is pure love before the two launch their respective technique at each other. And again, bear in mind, Yuta just went toe to toe with an experienced veteran special grade case user, Suguru Geto, and won dominantly. In my opinion, wash this man's ass out. Wait, yo, hold up, that sounds funky as fuck. Anyway, next we see of Geto, he is decimated on the floor, missing an arm and most of his face having been burnt away from the blast. Meanwhile, Yuta was just knocked unconscious from the blast with minimal damage. So in summary, Yuta washed Geto in their first fight, and ain't no way an experienced sorcerer should be losing like this to a novice who only learned about Jujutsu just a few months prior to their meeting. In my humble opinion here, Suguru Geto bit off way more than he could chew by challenging Okkotsu to this fight here. But that's all from me. Feel free to argue your points in the comments below and tell me how much of an idiot I am and how wrong I am. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more Jujutsu content and maybe some other stuff there along the lines. But now for the little special message. We fucking hit 1,000 subscribers, bro. Honestly, I just want to say thank you so fucking much to everyone that watches my content. Like, time is the most valuable currency on this planet, and the fact that you guys choose to spend your time watching my stuff means more than you can ever imagine, and I am truly grateful for everything. So thank you, and here's to many more videos and more growth. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much.